Listen.
Page out of a bloody notebook, it would be. The district... Dear me. The district secretary agreed to do all in his power to implement the just demand for tuppence on the hourly rate. And there's a few notes. I can hardly read them. By, he must have had a few when he wrote this.
Sign it.
Aye, signed and dated.
What are you going to do, Jack? Lose it?
You're learning. And it wouldn't work, Matt. There's 4 witnesses against us.
What are you going to do then, Jack?
The best I can. That's all that's left.
I said, you take me to the 3:30 in there, and I said, it came nowhere. Well, the deputy says, well, maybe you and me should change places.
Evening, brothers.
This is a private meeting, Brother Ford.
I hope so, Brother Poskett. It's a highly confidential matter.
And what have you brought your brother-in-law for?
I haven't brought my brother-in-law. This is Brother Headley, the Assistant Secretary of our union. I didn't bring him, Brother Poskett. He came here by himself. He's as much right here as any of us.
So, the Assistant Secretary. You've made your brother-in-law the Assistant Secretary, have you?
That's right.
Well, you've got your nerve.
You've got a bit of nerve yourself, as I remember, Brother Poskett.
Don't try and change the subject.
Not. A few months ago, a few of us saved a poor widow's furniture for her. You were one. You knew we risked prison. I even went to prison. But you turned up. Solidarity, Brother Poskett, to help the widow of one of our members.
You are trying to change the subject.
Now, listen, give us a chance. I got nabbed because I was still there when the police came. But Matt here was the last man out. Half a minute later, he would have been in Durham jail with me.
I'm not
3
saying he
campaign
isn't...
medals, mention in dispatches, an able and trusted non-commissioned officer used to dealing with men's problems. Good union man, fully paid up all his life and risked his liberty for one of his own. Certainly I chose him. I was proud to choose him.
And if you don't like it, Poskett, we can step outside and I'll knock your plug off.
No, Brother Headley. There'll be no violence.
Till after the meeting.
Away in Sodom.
You two are the funniest thing since the Keystone Cops. Good evening, Brother Ford.
Evening, Les.
Nice of you to spare the time.
Union business, brother. There's nothing more important. Let's hear what you have to say.
I'm the convener of this meeting, Brother Ford, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, then. Convene.
Brothers, we are here this evening to discuss the possibility of an improvement in our basic rate. 2 pence an hour. But, Brother Ford, we already met your predecessor, Brother Norman Taylor, and it was agreed then that we could and should have this thing. And he said he would add his backing as a full-time union official. Now, this is a position which you and your brother-in-law have inherited.
Steady on, Les.
Just a minute. First off, I want to know from you, brother, whether you're going to lead us in this fight. Whether you're going to honour the obligations of your office.
You've picked up some grand words, Les. Real educated words.
Answer his question, Brother Ford.
Which one? Lead you in a fight or act like a union official?
It's the same thing.
Maybe. Brother Headley and me, we haven't got much time for reading. We're not scholars. We're practical men like yourselves. And being practical men, we like to know what we're talking about.
We're talking about money. Nigh on 8 shillings a week. Well?
Go on, brother, I'm listening.
We don't want you to listen. We want you to say something.
Do you? Brother Mallow?
Well, you're our leader. Lead us.
Cards on the table.
All the cards, Brother Ford.
You haven't left us that many to play. First off, you'll never get tuppence an hour.
Now, just a minute.
And you knew that when you and poor old Norman first decided to give it a try.
Less of the poor old Norman. He was a good man.
Where did you dream this one up, brothers, eh? You and Norman? The Green Man, the Boilermaker's Arms, the Blue Bell?
Meeting in the pub was Norman's idea. He said these were exploratory talk.
Oh, did he now?
So it was better to meet away from the office, like.
The pub was his office, man, you know that.
We were all sober.
Including Norman. There's Norman's record of your meeting. Not all that easy to read, but you can smell the whiskey.
All right, sometimes Norman did get carried away.
You're right there. Sometimes it took 2 good men to carry him.
Now then.
Brother Ford's right, you know. You and me have done it ourselves in the past, Brother Poskett.
And why did you do it?
Because he was a good man, sober, a caring man.
Aye, he was. And a good union official. I was made a note here, Brother Mallow. Well, maybe you'd like to read it for us.
But it looks like ask for twopence, take a penny.
Is that the way it was? Cards on the table, brothers.
What are you after?
Money for my members.
Money. You really want a headache, Ford?
Maybe I won't be the only one.
All right. Let's hear it.
I've worked out a few figures.
Been doing your homework, have you? Yeah. Do you believe everything you read in the Financial Times?
You're not saying an organ of the capitalist press tells lies?
Certainly not. They could be misled.
By you?
By me, by you, by anyone in our position. Quite inadvertently, of course. We're shocking, Mr. Headley.
You're shocked, Matt?
Well, I started this game a bit late. I'll play better when I learn the rules.
There aren't any, Headley. That's what makes it so difficult. What are you asking?
My committee wants twopence an hour.
Two things I liked about you, Ford. Your brains and your courage. Whatever happened to your brains?
It's good of you to see me again so quickly.
Not at all. Gather it's urgent. You haven't brought your reinforcements.
Matt's mind in the office. This is confidential and all.
You suffered a bereavement, Ford.
Today is the 25th.
I'm aware of it.
8 years ago today, we had 60,000 casualties at Wipers. Matt and me feel we should mourn the good men that died.
Like my son.
That was a song. I was there.
And do you mourn them? Or does it help to make your members like you?
Bit of both, Sir Rish, you know. Farthing an hour's not on.
Best I can do.
And I'll tell you why. If you don't make it a penny, I'm out of a job.
Oh, it won't be for long, Ford.
And if I'm out of a job, you'll get Les Mallow instead. He's a wonderful fellow, Les, very strong on conscience. Went to prison for it during the war.
Conscientious objector.
Aye. They knocked hell out of him in prison. Oh, I always knew they had, but since I've been there myself, being in the army must have been a picnic to what he got. But it hasn't changed him. Nothing will. He'll come here yelling for twopence.
Why?
Oh, maybe he'll settle for a penny, maybe not. But even if you give him a penny, he'll be back for more.
If he doesn't get it?
He'll strike. Fancy a strike, do you, Manners? Just after you've promised your shareholders a not unreasonable dividend.
Still quoting the Financial Times. That interview was a mistake.
We all make them.
Won't you strike?
You're not hearing me. Either I get that penny or you get Les Mallow and he strikes.
You're being very honest all of a sudden.
I have to be.
So you make honesty a weapon.
That's right.
You're still asking a hell of a lot.
I know that. I'll owe you one, Manners.
You know me. What?
When the time comes, we'll both know.
Have to be a big one.
I wouldn't doubt you. But if you turn me down, I'll be back down there again. I won't owe you a thing. And even if I did, there'd be no chance of paying it.
The big one?
Big as you like, as long as we make it look respectable.
Oh, of course. There's an Employers' Federation meeting this evening. But naturally you knew that. Just as you knew that if Lewis Bishop agreed to your terms, the rest would follow. All right. Penny an hour.
Thanks.
To be paid for. Later. Funny that. We trust each other.
We'll have to. Nobody else would.
Bereavement, is it, Brother Ford?
Why was Brother Poskett? 60,000 dead, and some of them Marras, comrades in arms, and today's the day we remember them. Matt and me, we don't forget.
That war's over, Brother Ford.
Aye, and thanks to our glorious dead, we won.
Very touching. Who was it that said that patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel?
Long words, Brother Mallow. School teachers' words. I spent a lot of the day with a man who gave his son for his country. A son that died in my arms. This man's a capitalist. Maybe he's even a millionaire. Sir Horatio Manners, chairman of Lewis Bishop. And I'll tell you this, and I'm not ashamed to say it. He and I knelt in prayer for the sake of a good man gone.
Was your prayer answered, brother?
I don't know about mine, Les, but yours was. A penny an hour, brothers, as from the first week in January.
And we thought you'd join the bosses. Hey, man, I'm proud of you.
Join the bosses? You've upset me, Brother Poskett. I might have to see a lot of them, but I don't forget me friends. Here, have a boss's cigar. Compliments of Lewis Bishop and Company.
I don't smoke.
You should, Les. Would help you relax.
You really did it, Jack.
I did.